Hi, my name is Precious, and today I'm going to be doing a stats and ACs video. A few people asked about my stats and ACs under my college decision video, so I was like, why not just make a video about what I did in high school? Because we're not gatekeeping over here, and if I can get into two Ivies, you can definitely get into two Ivies as well. So, for some context, I'm also looking at my laptop, so that's why I'm going to be looking over here a little bit. But for context, I am a Nigerian American. I went to a public magnet school. It was technically considered just a public school, but like you had to apply to be able to go to the school. But the magnet part didn't really work because we had 100 students in our freshman year, but by the time we graduated, we only had 54. But that's not the point. But then my class size, like I said, was 54. My rank was 9 out of 54. My GPA was 3.98 unweighted at the time of application, but then when I graduated, I had a 3.99. And as for my GPA weighted, it was 102.5 because my school uses a weird 100-point scale. Also, my school offered these things called like CTE courses, like career technical education. So that basically helped me get more exposure into like medicine and law and different courses like that. So now I'm going to get into my classes and grades. I kind of started my transcript in 8th grade by taking a couple courses. Also, if I say advanced, that means honors. Again, my school is weird, so we called them all advanced. So in 8th grade, I took advanced biology. In, in 8th grade, I took advanced biology, advanced algebra 1, and professional communications. And then during my freshman year of high school, I took advanced chemistry, advanced geometry, online PE, online health, and online heart. Yes, our school did not offer any of those courses in person. We didn't have enough teachers or something, so we had to take online PE. Anyways, we had advanced English 1. I took AP Human Geography, Spanish 1, and Spanish 2. And then as a sophomore, I took Principles of Health Science Theory, Medical Terminology, Principles of Law, Algebra or Advanced English 2, Advanced Algebra 2, AP World History, and AP Physics 1. Then as a junior, I took AP Chemistry, AP English Language, AP US History, EKG, Court Systems and Practices 1, AP Psychology, AP Seminar, AP Pre-Calculus, and then in the summer, before my senior year, I took two dual credit courses, so I didn't have to take them as a senior. So I took dual credit economics and dual credit federal government. And y'all, junior year was something. I took 6 APs in 1 year. I was out. I was out to say the least. I don't know how I maintained most of my grades. But as you can see, AP chemistry, that is why I don't have a 4.0. So it is okay to not have all A's. It's okay to not have all A's. I was actually really mad about that, but I think it still worked out in the end. As a senior, I took 5 courses. I took AP Research, AP Calculus BC, AP English Literature, AP Environmental Science, and Medical Assisting. I'm pre-med, so I actually want to take AP Bio and not AP Environmental Science, but it didn't work in my schedule. But I made sure to put that on my Common App in the additional info because I wanted them to know that I wanted to take AP Bio, but it didn't work in my schedule because it's like, why are you taking AP Environmental Science if you want to be a pre-med major? That doesn't make any sense. So I made sure that they knew that by putting it in my additional info. And next, let's go on to test scores. So I actually didn't submit all of my test scores to every college. However, I did submit it to UT Austin, Penn, and Brown. So the 3 schools, like the 3 big schools that I got into. And honestly, my scores aren't anything crazy. They're really not anything crazy. My SAT was 1420, which again I submitted to all of the schools, and my ACT was a 32. As you know, most people that I guess you see in these videos that get into Ivies, they have like a 1500 plus, 34, 35 ACT. I did not have that, so I wasn't very confident in my test scores, but I feel like I kind of was able to, I guess, show other aspects of why I was a good candidate through not just my test scores, but other things as well. As for my AP scores, as you'll know, freshman year, I took AP Human, I got a 4, AP World History, I got a 4, AP Physics 1, I got a 2. Yeah, so I did not submit that. Not a single college knows I got a 2 on AP Physics 1. Not a single college knows that. But that also goes to show you don't have to have a perfect AP scores on anything to be able to get into any good schools. You can just not submit them. AP US History, I got a 4. AP Seminar, I got a 4. AP Psychology, I got a 4. AP Pre-Calculus, I got a 5. And AP Lang, I got a 5. And AP Chemistry, I got a 4. Yeah, I mostly got 4s and everything. Only got 2 5s. You don't have to have crazy. Well, okay, having a lot of 4s is like really good, but I think, as you know, I got a 2. So you don't really have to have crazy AP scores to get in. Again, they're looking, it's very, what's the word? Holistic, yes. It's a holistic admissions process. So you don't need to, you can compensate in other ways. Okay, as for my ECs, this is where I was able to kind of show a lot. My goal with my ECs was to show that I did like a lot of different things. I did a lot of different things in high school, like a lot of leadership. Kind of, let me just talk. You'll see. So for my first EC, I put Key Club. I was very, very into Key Club. My freshman year, I was the secretary. Then my sophomore through senior year, I was the president. So I basically just I'll just read off what I wrote as my description. I led bi-weekly meetings, raised $1,500 for Cook's Children's, had 100 plus volunteer hours. I organized school trash pickups. I increased membership from 21 to 120. So I definitely talked about this in my personal statement because this was a very huge part of my high school journey. I was very involved in this. It was, if you saw the Key Club I had in freshman year compared to what it was in senior year, you wouldn't even think it was the same club. It was completely different. And I have a lot, also everybody else I worked with on the officer board and my sponsors. Thank for that. It was, that was a crazy club. Anyways, second I put Red Alert. This was a initiative. So we had this class in our school called Future Forward where we were able to work on passion projects. So that's what me and my friend did. Basically for this, we developed 3 period scrub prototypes to aid women in medicine, and we presented at a district showcase. So yeah, the idea was to create period scrubs to help women in the healthcare field. They work long hours. They're not always able to change their menstrual product. So we were like, oh, let's do this. And I also talked about this in my personal statement. I just thought it was a unique project, a unique extracurricular. Not many people can say that they did something to this extent. And yeah, I just thought I should add that. It was pretty important. Spent a lot of time on it. I also put I was a co-founder because technically it wasn't like a company, but it was the idea. We had a co-found it. Yeah. My next activity was student council and class 2025 officer. I actually decided to combine these ECs because they're kind of similar, and I needed more space to talk about my other extracurriculars, and I feel like them on their own weren't really substantial enough, and when I put them together, it sounded better in my opinion. So that's why I combined the two. As for the description, I was class president from my 9th to 10th grade years. I was spirit committee head of student council in 10th grade as well. I led bi-weekly meetings. I organized social events to engage the student body, raised $1,000 plus for senior prom, and co-founded a mentor program at my high school. This is just, a lot of people are in these kind of clubs. Student council, class officers. Yeah, this one's nothing too crazy. It, again, just shows I was very involved in my school. A huge thing about me in high school is I was very involved in my school because I was the second graduating class of my school. So I kind of really tried to be in the clubs, build up the school culture, I guess you could say. I don't know. But, yeah. The fourth activity is my EKG certification. So I actually didn't know where to put this on the Common App because it wasn't an award or honor. So I was like, I don't want to put it there. But, it's not necessarily an extracurricular, but I was like, oh, well, this is going to be an extracurricular. So, for the description, I just said attended 3-hour class sessions 2 to 3 times per week, performed 10 successful EKGs, studied and passed NHA's 100 question certification test. I just wanted to put this as an activity, something that was very important, again, for my pre-med journey. Wanted to show that I had interest in it, so I had this certification. This was something that I did during school. This wasn't something like, as you like from my transcript. This is a class I had, so that's why I put that in the description and also in my additional info section, so that the schools knew that this wasn't something I was doing outside of school. Obviously, I studied outside of school, but like the actual classes were inside school. The next one is a Girls Who Code Summer Immersion participant. So this was actually I think this was my only summer program. I don't remember, but this is one of the summer program I did. This was a super easy program. I actually highly recommend it. I'm not sure if the application is closed, but if you want to do it in the future, I would highly recommend it. I even got a $500 grant in the summer just for doing this. It was great for like introductory networking, kind of figuring out how that space works. Even though I'm not going into comp sci, I think it also showed. I don't know why I said it like that. I think it also showed that I experimented with a lot of things, especially for a place like Brown that's a very high emphasis on academic exploration and doing everything. I'll also read what I wrote for my description. I said, learn about the P5JS library, game development, and JavaScript, coded 5 games, participated in a game jam, and workshop with professionals at JP Morgan. So, yeah, that's where the networking part came in. And, yeah, it was a super cool program. I did it online. It was the TAs or the people that were teaching the class were very nice, and it was very cool. So the next activity I have is Hope Squad. So this, I think a lot of schools have this. Basically, a club where you're able to promote mental health. Essentially, I really liked doing this club because it was during the school day, like the school meeting. So I didn't have to stay after school for it, and it was a good like extracurricular to have. And the sponsor would always bring a snack, so it was always a good time to go there. As for my description, I wrote one of 20 chosen to be a listening ear for student body, planned week-long suicide prevention events with many activities, and developed interpersonal skills. Most of the meetings, we were either planning Hope Week or we were just going through like presentations, talking about like how to help people that are dealing with these issues and stuff like that. I really enjoyed doing this club. I believe I did it. I don't have it in my notes. I think I did it from like 10th to 12th grade. So yeah. And then my 7th one was Nigerian Catholic community at my parish. I kind of helped. I lead some rosaries sometimes. I was hosting the annual picnic with games, food, and music, and just overall was very involved in Nigerian youth at my church. I really talked about this in my essays because this is a huge part of my identity as it reflects both my culture and my faith. And yeah, this is something that was very important to me. I liked engaging with it throughout my years in high school. And I'm going to miss it in college, so hopefully I can form that same bond at the community at Penn. Anyways, for engineering day, for the next extracurricular, I have engineering day. So I was one of the lead planners of engineering day. For the description, I contacted nearby professionals and organized a school-wide career fair with 10 presenters, set up breakfast, and directed them to their presenting rooms. So this was actually super fun, but it was a little stressful. Very fun to plan, but also a little stressful because it was only me and like 2 other of my friends that came up with this idea because we did something similar to it in middle school. I think it was actually called Engineering Day in middle school too. But we were like, let's do this in high school too. Like, it was kind of fun. And there was one year that we did it and we had to cancel it the day that we had it we had to cancel it because it snowed that day and they canceled school, and so we had to reschedule it, and that was a lot. But yeah, it was fun. But here's a tip: is like something very important about the application is don't falsify, but like frame it. Like for example, where it says lead planners of engineering day, that wasn't necessarily my title, but like that's what I did. Like it wasn't a title. Ooh, my microphone's about to fall. That wasn't a title that was given to me, but it is what I did. I was a lead planner of the engineering day. So try to frame your activities in a way that makes it sound a little, I guess, more professional or whatever. I can do like a whole video on like tips of how to write like your Common App and whatever. But yeah, just make sure you frame it in a way that makes it, sound a little bit better. Because I was a lead planner of engineering day, it just wasn't technically a title that was dawned upon me. Anyways, and then my next activity was HOSA. So I was in 11th and 12th grade. My description, I attended monthly meetings, obtained my CPR certification, performed blood pressure readings on 10 plus people at Toys for Tots, and competed in medical competitions. So this one again is to kind of show, pre-med, as I keep saying. I also had my CPR certification. It wasn't necessarily from this club, but like I didn't know where else to put it, so I was like, oh, I'll just add it in here because it's roughly the same thing, and it is kind of through the organization. I don't know. Anyways, and then also I actually ended up getting third place in medical assisting for area, but that was after the application. I think I might have sent it to some schools that I did it, but overall I didn't end up submitting it. But going to state was super fun. That was like my last high school field trip, and I loved it. I did not win, but I had fun, and that's the point. That's all the point. And then my last activity that I wrote was College Board Big Future. So basically, this was a program. I don't even know how I found this activity. I think I was scrolling on TikTok or Instagram Reels or something, and I saw someone promoting it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a nice little activity I can add to the list. Like, let's join. And they also gave you a couple freebies. Like, I got a water bottle, I got like a pen, and something else, like a sticker or something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. I basically just reposted stuff about Big Future, made some posts about Big Future on my own Instagram, help students get in touch with Big Future resources, and that's basically it. It wasn't a crazy extracurricular, but it is something that I did, so had to add it to the list. And then next, this might be my last section, I think. Yeah, the awards section. And when I tell you this one, I have nothing crazy, nothing insane. Did not win any international awards. Barely even had national, if you can consider them to be national. Didn't have state. Like, everything here was like low key, not a stretch, but like I just wanted to make sure I put everything that I have on my application, because I am proud of these achievements, but they're not like, oh my gosh, like you cured cancer. Like, they're nothing crazy. So my first one was Penn Early Exploration Program, which was like basically UPenn's virtual version of a fly-in program. There's a lot of like fly-in programs. If you're a rising senior, I'd actually really recommend you apply to some of them right now, because I think a lot of them are open. Like MIT has one, I think that's open. But yeah, I did. I applied. I got in somehow, and I just learned a lot about UPenn's programs, things that they offered, and yeah, that's all for that award. And then the second one was Most Improved Key Club Honorable Mention for increased membership and participation. So this one, I don't remember what they call it, but like they have this Key Club has like this end of the year convention thing, and we got mentioned as like an honorable mention of Key Clubs. We weren't able to actually attend the convention, but we were mentioned, so I put that on there. Um, Next one is National African American Recognition Program, which is one of the ones through College Board. I also have AP Scholar with Distinction, which is another one through College Board. And these two, again, aren't like crazy. I think these are just for having good AP scores and maybe, I think, good PSAT score or something. I think for the recognition program. Was proud of it, obviously, but I think a lot of people have those two awards, but had to include it. And then the last thing is literally just National Honor Society. I just wanted to make sure I had all 5 slots filled if I had stuff to put there. So yeah, and that's everything for my stats and ECs. That's everything that I put on my application for the most part. If you guys want me to do like a video about tips, I can do that of how to do your Common App. Obviously, I'm not professional, but from going through the process from literally June of my summer after my junior year to January of my senior year, I know a little bit. I know a little bit. I'll also be making a video where I'm reading my essays, so look out for that. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.